The Darkside Detective. I have a little confession. I've wanted to play this game for months now. I love ghost and supernatural stories that are put into a point-and-click adventure games. I've mentioned this before that I enjoy the Blackwell series of games, and I've enjoyed both of the Phantasmagorias, even the hated second one. I was just waiting for this to go down in price, since I heard it wasn't a very long game. Unfortunately, I just got impatient and I couldn't wait any longer, so I paid the almost $13 they were asking. After finishing all the cases, including the bonus cases, I'm a bit disappointed. This whole game has a funny charm to it, but the lack of any real overarching storyline kind of took away its enjoyment. You play as Detective McQueen, who is the lead member of the Darkside Division. It's basically a police's X-Files division. Any case they can't understand or is too weird, they give it to him and his partner Dooley. The cases you tackle were normally all self-contained. They sometimes reference previous cases, but they were never anything other than, hey, remember that guy or that thing that happened previously? Yeah, you do? Alright, moving on. This is a point-and-click adventure game. You use the cursor to click on what you want to interact with. This is obviously not made for consoles. The reticle to point at what you want to move to moves so slowly. Oddly, the speed of the pointer changes depending on the case. The worst speed I saw was 6 seconds to go across the screen. At best, it was 4 seconds. Imagine playing a first-person shooter and your gun can only turn at that rate. It would be unplayable. It's okay in this game because you're not going to need to worry about quick actions. You're free to take your time. But the frustrations of clicking on an item and then slowly moving to the thing you want to click on really made me want to scream at times. There was also little odd things, like the cursor just kind of being in the middle of the screen in the middle of a cutscene. You usually would try and hide that. It takes away from the story. Or when you're scrolling through a list of chat boxes. You couldn't just move the next one down. You move the cursor down in order to move it down. It's just weird choices that just makes it feel like this game really was never supposed to be on the console. The best point-and-click adventure games would just jump from clickable items, or make it as easy as possible to click on things. This game doesn't even try to change things up for the console gamers. And for the price they're charging for this, that is outrageous. You can use the touchscreen to play with this, and really that's the only way to play this normally. The cursor works way better on the touchscreen, and since I have to assume they made this for the mobile or PC audience, that's not really surprising. I know I keep going back to the price, but I need to talk about it. $12.99 for 3 to 4 hours of content. That is insane. There are 3 bonus cases you can play at any time, but they're not very good, especially the Christmas one, which I'm not showing since I don't want to spoil the whole game. So like usual, I'm only going to show like the first third of the game. So that's basically the first 3 cases. The Christmas one is going to make you pull out your hair. Not because it's hard, but because it does things to stretch out the plot and makes items that you tried to pick up unavailable until the game decides you can have it. And I can see why it's a free bonus case. This game is not hard. Actually, it's incredibly easy. That has to do with the fact there's not really a lot of items you're going to hold on to. And at certain points in the cases, the amount of area that you had to solve a puzzle in was only a couple screens. And they wouldn't let you leave until you finished it. So figuring it out was fairly easy. Now I actually like this approach, breaking down sections of the game into bite-sized adventures. That was fun. It kept the story moving quickly. And if they had expanded on that to make it an overall branching story and characters who had the slightest bit of development, this game actually could have worked. That's the problem. Everything is so hollow. There are logic puzzles to solve in most of the cases. They were always a different type of puzzle, and I appreciated that. I would have gone crazy if it was nothing but slide puzzles. Man, do I hate slide puzzles. Another problem was the lack of voice acting. Again, for a game that is fairly expensive for its content, it does feel like it's the most basic game design. The characters don't even have faces. Would it have killed them to add facial features? I know they're probably going to say it's a creative decision, and I guess I could take that as an answer, but it feels more like a cop-out. The Darkside Detective was a disappointment. I really wanted to like this game. It had everything I enjoy playing in a point-and-click adventure game. Graphically, it looked fine. It had some nice sprite work if you ignore the faceless characters. I always knew what I was clicking on, and it was very amusing at times. The banter between the 2 detectives was the best part of this game. It certainly wasn't the cases, as it tended to do the most basic of storytelling and not expand on the characters or ideas too much. I want to make this clear. I didn't hate this game. In fact, it could be charming at times, mainly due to the 2 characters reacting to things. So that's why I'm going to say you should buy this on sale. This is a 3 to 4 hour game, and that's being generous. When I say wait for it to go on sale, I'm talking about under $5. There is no replayability, like most point-and-click adventure games, but at least the good ones will make you want to play it again one day. And this game, once is enough. So you should just wait for this to go on sale.